Arrival is a 2016 film directed by Denis Villeneuve. Linguistics professor Louise Banks leads an elite team of investigators when gigantic spaceships touch down in 12 locations around the world. As nations teeter on the verge of global war, Banks and her crew must race against time to find a way to communicate with the extraterrestrial visitors. Hoping to unravel the mystery, she takes a chance that could threaten her life and quite possibly all of mankind. Language professor Louise Banks joins a U.S. Army team at one of the locations in Montana. Her job is to try to learn the aliens' language and enable communication with them. Arrival is an adaptation of Ted Chiang's short story, Story of Your Life. Arrival is an intriguing and challenging film that makes you think. It shows how powerful language and communication can be in shaping our worldview. Through Louise's work with the extraterrestrial visitors, she learns that language isn't just for communication, but also for perceiving the world. The linguistic Louise Banks is portrayed by Amy Adams. Critics and audiences alike praised the film, which won numerous awards, including an Oscar for Best Sound Editing. There is an event in the film that begins with 12 massive objects that seem to be similar to spacecraft suddenly appearing in several locations throughout the world. A linguist, Louise Banks, is hired by the American military to establish contact with the extraterrestrial beings and translate their language in order to reach out to them. In collaboration with physicist Ian Donnelly, played by Jeremy Renner, Louise works to figure out what the aliens want. It's not just aliens versus humans, but also deep dives into questions of consciousness and perception of time and space. There are multiple jumps in time in the plot of the film, which prompt Louise to consider the truth and reality of her own past, as well as delve deeper into the world of the aliens as the plot progresses. Language and communication play a significant role in influencing our perception of time and space in the film, which is fascinating to watch.
Minority Report is a 2002 American science fiction action film directed by Steven Spielberg, loosely based on the 1956 novella The Minority Report by Philip K. Dick. The film is set in Washington, D.C. and Northern Virginia in the year 2054, where pre-crime, a specialized police department, apprehends criminals by use of foreknowledge provided by three psychics called precogs. The cast stars Tom Cruise as pre-crime chief John Anderton, Colin Farrell as Department of Justice agent Danny Whitwer, Samantha Morton as precog Agatha Lively, and Max von Sydow as pre-crime director Lamar Burgess. The film combines elements of tech noir, whodunit, thriller, and science fiction genres, as well as a traditional chase film, as the main protagonist is accused of a crime he has not committed and becomes a fugitive. Spielberg characterized the story as 50% character and 50% very complicated storytelling, with layers and layers of murder mystery and plot. Minority Report was one of the most anticipated films of 2002 because of the high-profile collaboration between Cruise and Spielberg. Minority Report became the 10th most successful film of 2002 worldwide.
V for Vendetta is a 2006 dystopian political action film directed by James McTeague in his feature directorial debut from a screenplay by the Wachowskis. V for Vendetta is a seminal work of fiction by the famed English graphic novelist Alan Moore. It was written by Moore and illustrated by David Lloyd in the early 1980s. The story is set in a near-future dystopian England following a global nuclear catastrophe. The massive destruction has rendered much of the world uninhabitable and chaotic. In England, this has resulted in the rise of the political party, Norsefire, which rules the country as an ethnocentric, fascist regime. The story's main protagonist is the eponymous V, an anarchistic vigilante who fights a personal war in opposition to the tyrannical government. This is in part to liberate England, but also to enact his own vendetta against those in the government who had imprisoned and tortured him. V rescues and becomes a mentor to a teenage girl named Evie. The two form a friendship and become collaborators in V's struggle against the fascist Norsefire government. The tug of war between the political ideologies of anarchy and fascism contributes significantly to the meaning of V for Vendetta. Evie Hammond is played by Natalie Portman, while V is played by Hugo Weaving. The film was made by many of the same filmmakers involved in the Matrix series. Produced by Silver Pictures, Virtual Studios, and Anarchos Productions Inc. V for Vendetta was originally scheduled for release by Warner Bros. Pictures on the 4th of November 2005, a day before the 400th Guy Fawkes Night, but was delayed. It instead opened in the United States on the 17th of March 2006 to mostly positive reviews from critics and became a box office success.